Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Hopefully, you got some people joining me for class this morning, or you're just checking in later after maybe spending yesterday with some family and friends. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Okay, so just getting set up. Today, because I know a lot of people spend the holiday, enjoying lots of food and beverages and lots of friends and kind of partying it up. So today we will have some twists in practice. I don't know why I can never get this nice and squared up. And some balance work and some planks as well. So working the core, doing some twists. There we go. Pretty square. All right, so hello, good morning, welcome. My name is Nikki, and today we are focusing with our Build.Balance.Flow on twists. Good for detoxing, getting everything flowing and moving, and also planks, working on that core work as well. And it's a special day. I was gone on Thursday, and Build.Balance.Flow will now be Thursday mornings instead of Friday mornings because we're getting a little back into regular schedule at the gym. So I am at One Life Fitness Friday mornings at 6:15 a.m. If you would like come and join me socially distanced in person for a class, let me know. I can get you a pass. You can come and join me. That's down at Ballpark Village. So we are going to get started today. I'm actually going to move this back just a little bit. We're going to get started today in a nice tall seat. So that can be legs long, knees bent. It's whatever's comfortable for you. And you can soften your gaze or close your eyes. We're just going to focus on our breath a little bit here. Nice big inhale. And a big exhale. Take 4 more rounds of breath like that. And as you inhale, just really think of pulling in that nice fresh air, breathing it in all the way to the bottom of your lungs. And as you exhale, start to soften your muscles, relaxing any tension, any tightness that you're feeling. Just going to take a couple more breaths here. And there's going to be some changes, so I'm going to be posting some changes up to my schedule and some different things going on, either later today or tomorrow morning, with some fun things that we're going to be doing virtually and in person as well. Feel free to keep your eyes closed or gaze soft, and you're going to inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, lean over to the right side. And your right hand can come down wherever it's comfortable. Push into your left hip. Reach with your left fingers. So really lengthening out the side of the body. And it's real easy to kind of lean forward. But we're going to keep the chest open here for a couple breaths. One more breath. Good, and then we're going to add a little sweep with the left hand. So as you exhale, sweep your left hand towards your wrist, glance down at your hand. Inhale to come back up to that side stretch. And 2 more like that. Big exhale to sweep it down. Inhale to come up. And 1 more time, sweep it down. And come on up. Pause for your exhale. And as you inhale, come back up to center. Exhale over to the left side. Same thing here. Take a couple breaths in this side stretch. Pushing down into the right hip, reaching with the right fingertips, stretching everything out. And as you exhale, sweep that right hand down towards your left wrist. Inhale back up to that side stretch. And I don't know, maybe you were like me and you were getting a good night's sleep, and then about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, some more fireworks went off to wake you up. Always interesting time. You never know. They ended pretty good about 12 or so, but then I guess a couple people wanted to party a little bit more. Take those hands lightly to your thighs, and as you inhale, take a big breath in. Lift your chin and your chest. Oh my goodness. Exhale, curl your back in. And let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, lift your chin and chest. Exhale, curl in. One more big inhale. And exhale. Inhale back up to a nice tall seat. And then you're going to either roll forward or find your way into your tabletop position. So bringing the wrists under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. And we're just going to take a couple breaths here to get set up. Root down into your fingertips and your knuckles, lengthen through the spine. Take your right leg and left arm and reach them out. And then come back in. Inhale to reach, switching sides. And back in. So feel free to keep your toe on the ground or you can let it float. Just want to keep your leg and your arm shoulder and hip height. Reaching out and coming in. One more time each side. And we've got one more here. Then find your way into down dog. So if you need to walk your hands forward a little, go ahead. Make sure you press into your fingertips and knuckles to take the weight off of your wrists. Hips come up and back, and take a few breaths to pedal it out. Move your hips side to side, whatever feels good here. Just get the body moving, get some movement in the legs. Maybe you want to shift forward into plank and back to down dog. Spoiler alert, we will be doing that in a little bit later on in class. One more full breath. And then we're going to take a full breath in our down dog. So knees can be a little soft, heels reach for the ground, hug the elbows in, pressure in the fingertips and knuckles. Inhale, glance up at your fingers, soften your knees. Exhale, step your feet forward, a little bit wider than your hips, and pause here, maybe sway side to side. Let your head nod yes and no, maybe shift forward and backward, rolling through your feet each time. And then you're going to take a pause here, really root down into the entire sole of each foot, and gently roll up. Stack your vertebrae, one on top of the other. Head is the last thing to come up. Shrug the shoulders back a few times. Heel toe your heels underneath your hips. Take a breath in, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. We want that spine in alignment from the neck down through the tailbone. So you may need to engage these lower abs a little bit. Take one more breath in, reach it up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Inhale to reach up. Soften your knees to fold forward. We're going to plant the right hand either to a block or the ground. Left fingers reach up to the sky, and you can reach, you can take your hand to your hip, or you can wrap that arm around your back. We're going to pause here for 2 breaths. So just a little bit of a twist. We want to get the spine ready for more twists. So we want to start to slowly twist, get that movement going. And on your exhale, let your hand float down. Press down into the left hand, right fingers reach up for that twist over here. Maybe even bend your left knee just a little bit, and then let that hand float down. Root down through your feet, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold. Press down into the right hand. Inhale, left fingers reach. Exhale, let that hand come down. Inhale, right fingers reach. Exhale, let that hand come down. Step back to your plank and pause here. So you can be on your toes or your knees. We're going to spend a lot of time in different plank variations today. So feel free to lower your knees anytime you need that for that extra support. You want to keep your core engaged. So it's better to be here on your knees than to have your hips floating down a bit. Keep the core engaged, the spine aligned. Lower the knees if you're needing some support. Hug your elbows in nice and close. Lower all the way down to your belly and chest at the same time. Shoulders shrug back. Hug your elbows in. Lift your heart just a little bit. Press into knuckles and the fingertips, and then press back to down dog. On your exhale, step or hop your feet forward. Halfway lift to a nice flat back. Long spine here and fold. Root down through your feet, rise up. Hands to heart. Inhale to reach. Soften your knees and fold. Let's add a half lift here. Long spine, fingers to the ground or shins, and fold. Left fingers reach up to the sky. Let that hand come down. Right fingers reach up. Let that hand come down. Plant your hands, step or hop back to plank. Take that vinyasa flow, hugging the elbows in. Shoulders shrug back, lengthen through the crown of the head, and press back to down dog. This time, lift your right leg. It doesn't have to come high. And then you're going to bring your knee into your nose, curl your back, almost come into a plank here. Lengthen out that right leg. And one more time, bring that knee into your nose, curl your back. Lengthen it out. Then bring your knee towards your nose, step your foot forward, rise up into a lunge. Woo. Let's take a moment to get set up. Knee is in line with your toe. Shoulders shrug back. Engage those lower abs. Shoulder blades slide down your back. Fingers are nice and engaged. Reach up. Hinge forward, plant to your left hand to the block or the ground. Right hand comes to your hip or to the sky. Take a full breath here. And on your exhale, let that right hand float down to frame your foot. Step back to your plank. Toes or knees, hug the elbows in, lower down. Shoulders shrug back and lift your heart. Press back to down dog. Left leg lifts, doesn't have to come high, toes and hip bones space towards the ground. Bring your knee into your chest or your nose and lengthen it out. Knee comes to chest or nose, lengthen it out. And this time bring that foot all the way forward, rising up into your lunge. Take a moment to set up, shoulder blades slide down the back. Your right knee might bend a little bit as you square your hips. Inhale to reach up. Keep your spine long as you hinge forward. Plant the right hand, left hand to your hip or the sky. Feel free to lower your back knee if you need some support here. As you exhale, take that left hand, let it come down. Step back to your plank. Hug your elbows in, lower down. Shoulders shrug back to lift your heart. Press back to down dog. And on your exhale, step or hop your feet forward. Halfway lift to that long spine and fold. Root down through your feet, rise up. Hands come down to heart. Inhale to reach. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift, lengthening through the crown of the head and fold. Step or hop back to your plank. Hug your elbows in, lower down. Shoulders shrug back and lift your heart. You can always take this out and pause in down dog. Good, right leg lifts to the sky. And we're going to switch it up here. So you're going to shift forward into your plank. Keep this right leg lifted. And then go on back. And let's do that a couple more times. Shift forward into plank. Wrists over shoulder, or shoulders over wrists. Wrists over shoulders would be kind of weird. And one more time. And bring it back. Then bring that right leg forward, rise up into your lunge. Bring your hands to your heart, and we're going to come into a prayer twist. So you're going to turn to the right. Feel free to lower that left knee if you need that. And then you're just going to lean towards the right. So your elbow can come inside or outside of your leg. And we're going to be here for a couple breaths. So I always go on about alignment and form. Really important here, so you don't put undue pressure on your hip, your knee, and your ankle. You want to keep your hands at your heart. So if they're coming up towards your right shoulder, lessen your twist. So that twist is coming from your waist, not from your shoulders. Take a peek down at your right knee. If it's leaning into the left, you're going to cause some stress and some strain on your leg. So lessen that twist so your knee is in line with your toes. On your next inhale, rise back up into your lunge. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back to plank. Hug your elbows into lower down. Shoulders shrug back and lift your heart. Pressing into tops of the toes and the fingertips. Press back to down dog. Good, left leg lifts, float that leg, shift forward into your plank, and back. Let's do that a couple more times. And one more. And back. And then this time bring that right leg forward, rising up into your lunge. Hands come to your heart, and you're going to turn to the left side. Take that twist to the left side. So elbow can be inside of your leg. It does not have to come to the outside. You want your hands together at your heart. You want your knee and your toe in line with each other. So take a peek down. And it's okay if you're not twisting as deep as you normally do. That's totally fine. Our bodies are different every single day. So listen to your body, do what you can do today at this moment, but try not to risk alignment and form for the ultimate or the highest expression of the pose. Little tongue-tied today, guys. It's better to take your pose down, your level down a bit, and keep that form and alignment than to sacrifice that, because later on you'll probably have problems with your hips, your knees, your ankle, your shoulders, because you're not keeping your body in alignment. Inhale to rise up. And if you've been in my class, you know I'm a stickler for that alignment. Fold forward, plant your hands, step back to plank. Pause here for a full breath, toes or knees. Hug your elbows and lower down. Inhale to lift your heart. Press back to down dog. On your exhale, step or hop your feet forward. Halfway lift, long spine and fold. Root down to rise up. And hands to your heart. Inhale to reach. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift, long spine, and fold. Plant your hands, step back to plank. Pause here. Good, and then you're going to press back to down dog. Float that right leg. Come back into your plank. Back to three-legged dog. And then bring that right leg forward, rise into your lunge. And so from here, we're going to take a little sweep of the hands down and back. Lower your back knee if you need to. And then you're going to turn in the left foot. Sweep the left arm up and open and rise into a warrior two. So warrior two is about strength. It's about being strong, being prepared, being ready to fight. Shoulders shrug backward down into that right foot, outer edge of the left foot. Shoulder blades slide down your back and you're still engaging these lower abs so the tailbone isn't sticking straight out. Arms are strong. Gaze is over your right hand. You're going to inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart, bend that left knee, press into the outer, or right knee, press into the outer edge of the left foot. Inhale to reach up and lengthen that leg. You're going to take a twist towards your right knee. So arms bend into cactus arms, elbows bent. And come on back up. It's not a big twist. Open back up into warrior two. Again, it's coming from the waist. Reach it up. And then bend the elbows. Just a little bit of a glance, opening up just a little bit to the right, pressing into the outer edge of the left foot. Come on back up. Open up warrior two. Inhale to pause. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your foot. Step back to your plank. Hug your elbows in, lower down. Lift your heart, press back to down dog. Left foot lifts, bring it forward into your plank. Press back to three-legged dog. And then bring that leg forward, rising up into your lunge. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, sweep the fingers down and back. Turn in the right heel. Sweep the right arm up and open up, warrior two. Rooting down into the outer edge of that right foot. Shoulder blades slide down your back. Spine is long. Gaze over the left hand. Strong, strong fingers. Inhale to reach up, lengthen the left leg. Hands to heart. Inhale to reach. Open up. Back into warrior two. We're going to add that twist this time. Reach up to the sky. Bend the elbows. Twist from the waist towards the left leg. Come on back up to center. Open up warrior two. And let's go one more time. Reach it up. Twist it to the front. Come on back to center. Open up warrior two. Pause for your inhale. Exhale to cartwheel your hands down to frame your foot. Step back to your plank. Hug your elbows in, lower down. Inhale to lift your heart. Press back to down dog. Pause here in your down dog for a full breath, rooting down through all four limbs. And then you're going to shift your weight into your left hand. Float that right hand and bring it to your left leg. So it can come to your thigh, your shin. Maybe it even comes to the outside of your ankle. Maybe you look under your shoulder, under your armpit. And then bring that hand back into down dog. Weight into all four limbs. Then shift your weight. Left arm reaches for the right leg. Maybe peek under your armpit. And then bring it back to down dog. Step or hop your feet forward. Halfway lift. And lower. Root down to rise up. Hands to heart. Let's add a little more plank work in there. Yay! Inhale to reach. And fold it forward. Halfway lift. Nice long spine. And fold. Plant your hands. Step or hop back to plank. Shift your weight into your left hand, outside of your left leg, side plank here. So you can be here, you can bring this left knee down, you can even come down to your left elbow because we're going to be here for 2 more breaths. I know you guys are loving that. Plank work, yes, we love it, right? It's okay if your arm shakes, it's okay if your body shakes, just breathe through it. Relax your tongue and your jaw. As you exhale, come back into your regular plank. Hug your elbows in and lower down. Shoulders shrug back, lift your heart. Press back to down dog. Right leg lifts to the sky. And shift into your plank with that right leg floating. Back to three-legged dog. Right foot comes forward, rise into your lunge. Sweep your fingers down and back. And then turn in that right heel, open up warrior two. Inhale to reach up to the sky. Exhale, take that twist towards the right leg, root into the outer edge of the left foot. Come back to center. Open up warrior two. Inhale to pause. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your foot. Step back to your plank. Shift your weight into your right hand, outside of your right foot. Pause here. In your side plank, knee can come down, elbow can come down. Lifting through the top hip, maybe floating your top leg as well. If that leg is floating, go ahead and bring it back down. Exhale, back to your plank. Float that left leg, or shift back into down dog. Float that left leg. Back to down dog, bring that knee forward, rise up into your lunge. Sweep the fingers down and back, turn in the right heel, right arm sweeps open, warrior two. Inhale, reach it up to the sky. Exhale, twist it towards the left leg. Come on back up. Open up warrior two. Pause here. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your foot. Step back to your plank. Hug your elbows in, lower down. Shrug your shoulders back to lift your heart. Press back to down dog. Exhale, step or hop your feet forward. Halfway lift and lower. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale to reach. And fold. Halfway lift, long spine. And fold. And we're not going to hold that side plank as long this time. So step or hop back to plank. Shift your weight into the left side. And then come back into your plank. And hug your elbows in, lower down. Lift your heart, press back to down dog. Float your right leg, shift forward into plank. Back to three-legged dog. Right leg comes forward, rising up. Sweep the fingers down and back. Turn in the left heel, open up warrior two. Inhale to reach it up. Exhale, take that twist, root into the outer edge of that left foot. Come on back up. Open up warrior two. Inhale, pause. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your foot. Step back to your plank. Shift to the right side. Back to plank. Hug your elbows in and lower down. Inhale to lift your heart. Exhale to down dog. And float that left leg. Shift forward into your plank. Back to three-legged dog. Bring that knee forward. Rise up into your lunge. Sweep the fingers down and back. Turn in the right heel. Right arm sweeps up and open. Warrior two. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, twist towards the front. Inhale, rise back up and open up warrior two. Pause to inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your foot. Step back to your plank. Meet us in down dog or take your vinyasa flow. On your exhale, step or hop your feet forward. Halfway lift and lower. Root down to rise up. Hands to your heart. Inhale to reach up. We're going to switch it up here. Exhale to fold. Right foot steps back. Walk yourself around to the right side. Coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Take about 3 rounds of breath to kind of bend and lengthen the legs. Maybe reach for your ankles, back behind you, whatever's feeling good here. Grab a drink if you need it, whatever you need. Let's take about 1 more round of breath. Then you're going to come into that nice wide-legged forward fold. And if you need to, you can grab a block. Always nice to have a prop here. Toes can be straight ahead, or they can even come in a tiny bit. You're going to root down into your right hand. It's going to come right under your shoulder to the block or the ground. And then left fingers are going to come to your hip or up to the sky, and you're going to take about 2 rounds of breath. You can even wrap that arm around your lower back if you'd like some extra shoulder and chest opening here. Take 1 more big breath. Reach your fingers up to the sky if they're not there already, and let that hand float down. Same thing other side, root down into that left hand, shoulder is over wrist. Right fingers reach up, maybe wrap around your back or just come to your hip, whatever feels good. I'm going to go ahead and take this necklace off. Sometimes it's hard to do yoga with jewelry, but I wanted to wear my beautiful Yoga Buzz necklace. Let that hand float down. Move your prop if you have it. Walk your hands over to that left foot again. Turn in your left heel, lift up your right heel, shift your weight into the left foot. Rise up and float your right knee. Good, so here's that balancing part. We've been working a little bit on balance, but here's where we're gonna really work on some balance here. So you're gonna root down into all 4 corners of that left foot. Square up your hips, so my right hip always comes up. So I want my hips to be nice and square. Foot is flexed, knee is bent. So you can stay here. You can lengthen out that leg, or if you want, you can try and grab your big toe with your left hand. So if your chest is down, it's going to be difficult to balance. If your chest is here, I suggest lifting it back up and staying here. If you can lift your chest up, you can pause here or even lengthen out that right leg. Good. From here, I know that that left leg is killing us here. So soften the knee a bit and breathe. You can take that right arm back and maybe your gaze follows as well. We're just going to take one breath here because we're going to revisit this pose again. So on your next inhale, come back to center. Release your big toe if you have it. Set that foot down. Take a breath in. Exhale to fold. Left foot steps back. Walk yourself around to the left side. And then this time, you're going to turn your toes out just a little bit, heels in just a little bit. Walk your hands forward so you come into a wide-legged down dog. So the upper body from the waist up to the hands is the same. You're going to root down into your knuckles and your fingertips. You're going to shift your hips back slightly. Shoulder blades slide up your back, hugging the elbows in. So I'll show you from the side, just like our regular down dog. Pressing the knuckles and the fingertips into the earth. Pressing your chest back more towards the back wall. Taking one breath here. And then we're going to walk our hands over to the right side in a little quarter circle. And maybe this is where you're at and this is fine. Maybe you want to grab a block as well. Maybe you can walk your hands all the way to your foot and place your left hand on your foot, right hand to your hip or the sky. That may be too intense for you, and that's okay. You can give it a try, see what it feels like. We're going to take one more breath here. Let that hand float down. If it's lifted, walk yourself in a quarter circle back to that wide-legged down dog. And then walk your hands over to the left side. Same thing this side. Keeping your hips square. Finding what's comfortable may look and feel different than the other side, but feel free to play around and see what you like. One more breath here. Let that hand float down. If it's lifted, walk back to that wide-legged down dog and take a breath. Then walk your hands back underneath your gaze, over to the right foot, turning in the right heel, lifting the left heel. Shift your weight into that right foot, float your left knee. We're going to come into that twist. So with the hips square, foot stays flexed like it's pressing into the earth, and you can stay here, lengthen the leg, maybe grab your big toe. Left arm reaches back. Maybe that leg lengthens out. Maybe it doesn't today. That's okay. It can be very intense on the hamstrings. So breathe and see what works today for you. We have one more breath wherever you're at, and you can always step out of it if need be. And then come on back to center. Release your big toe if you have it and set that foot down. Let's take a big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart. Shift your weight into the left foot, float the right knee. We're going to take that twist. So you can be here, you can grab the big toe. We're just going to open up to the side, take a full breath. Inhale, come back to center. Take that ankle in front of your thigh. Pause here or have a seat. Come on back up, straighten out that leg, reach up to the sky, hands to heart, set that foot down, other side. Root down into the right foot, float the left knee. Take your twist, maybe grabbing the big toe or not. Inhale, come on back to center. Ankle comes in front of your thigh, figure four. You can pause here, rooting down into the right foot or have a seat for a breath. Come on back up, straighten that leg, arms reach up. Set that foot down. Nice job. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Fantastic. We're going to do a little bit of core work with planks. I know we've done a lot of planks, but I know you guys love them too, right? Of course. We're going to do a full minute, and then we're going to cool it down and stretch it out. So planks are your choice, toes or knees. If you are on knees, you still want your shoulders over your wrists. You don't want to come back into this tabletop position. So a nice long spine. And we're just going to go down to our elbows and back up to our hands. So you're going to go down, elbow, elbow, and your hands come straight out, back up to plank. Your time starts now. We have a full minute. Keep the core engaged. Take your time. You want your elbow to come directly under your shoulder with as little movement as possible. Then hand back under your shoulder, little movement as possible. And if you can think about it, switch the arm that goes first each time. If not, it's okay. There's a lot to think about. Lower your knees if you need to. Take some nice, deep breaths, guys. You're doing amazing and you're halfway there. Woohoo! So as you're working hard, I want to let you know one of the exciting things we have going on is that power yoga that I do Wednesday mornings live here is going to be like a 3-part series working up to Fallen Angel. It's an arm balance. All right, you've got about 7 seconds here. So this Wednesday, it will be working up to crow pose. Next Wednesday, working up to side crow. Then the next Wednesday, working up to Fallen Angel. And really lower your knees down. Press your hips back. Take a nice child's pose for a couple breaths here. Nice deep breaths. So all of those arm balances involve upper body and core work, which we'll work on through class. We'll build up to each pose. If you can do it, awesome. If you can't make the pose, it is okay. You just try and do your best, and that's all we ask for. All right, so let's go ahead. Come on up to seated. Take your legs out in front of you. Find your sit bones and sit up nice and tall. Inhale to reach up to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Let your hands float down. You want to keep the spine long. So sometimes we let the back curl in, we release the back. We want to keep the spine long today. So fingers can come to blocks or the ground or your shins. Keep engaging through your core, lengthening through the spine. Maybe walk yourself out more. If this is really intense on your hamstrings or low back, bend your knees a little bit here. And take one more full breath. Good. Walk your hands back. And take a big breath in. Find your way midway on your mat with your hips. Grab props if you need them. Bend your knees, plant your feet. Come on down to your back. Take a breath here. You're going to set that block to the side. You're going to take your right ankle, put it in front of your left thigh in that figure 4 that we did before. And then bring your legs in towards your belly. So you want to keep your low back on the ground and keep both feet flexed to keep the legs active. Maybe reaching for the left thigh or shin. Maybe drawing some circles with that left foot to release the ankle, the shin, and the calf. Try and keep your shoulders flat on the mat. So for those of you who like arm balances, that's the next few weeks on Wednesdays, that's what we'll be working on. If you can't make it live in class, it will be on my Facebook and YouTube as well. Let's go ahead and set that foot down and switch sides. Good. Find that figure 4, bring the legs in, keep the feet flexed, and maybe draw some little circles on this side as well with your foot. So try to have props with you. Blocks are excellent for support. So a lot of people feel like props are for beginners or if you're not strong enough. Props are actually for yogis of all levels. Nobody's body is perfect. Nobody's body is the perfect length. So props are awesome to help us support us, help us get into poses that we can't normally get into, give us length, give us height, something some of us need more than others. But props are great for all yogis. So please don't ever refuse to use a prop because it's just there to help you. Go ahead and set that foot down. Bring your heels in towards your hips a little more. Lift your hips and put a block or a blanket or a pillow underneath. Lift your shoulders, shrug them back. Settle in for supported bridge, waterfall, legs long, whatever's feeling good here for about 3 or 4 rounds of breath as I keep talking to you guys about props. I love props, and they're very important. It's really important to understand that they're like your friends. I like to call props friends because they're there to help you, not hinder you. So they're good friends, there to help you with your practice. So always try things with props because it's just going to help you. One more big breath. Let it out. Bend your knees, plant your feet. Lift your hips, slide that block out, set it to the side. Lower your hips, and we're going to take a nice twist here. So this twist can be a little intense, so take any modifications that you'd like. You're going to take your right leg, your left leg long. Bring your right knee into your chest, and then bring it a little out towards your armpit. Take your left hand to your shin and guide your leg across your body. So from here, I like to lift my left hip a little and slide it back. And I'm going to take a block and put it underneath my leg because that feels nice. Arms out to the side. If this is not comfortable, find a more comfortable position. Maybe bending that other knee underneath or finding a less intense twist today for you. Take a few breaths here, maybe soften your gaze, and just breathe, breathe, breathe. So I'm super excited for this little power yoga series. And then my Build, Balance, Flow will be starting this week on Thursdays at 7 a.m. And we're going to do like I did the week before, where I'm going to pick a pose, and I'm open to suggestions, where I'll give you a little history of that pose, the meaning of that pose, and we'll work with that pose in our flow during class. And let's come on back to center. Bring both knees into your chest, and then let that right leg come long, left leg comes out towards your armpit, and then guide it over. And again, find that twist that's comfortable here. Taking a few breaths, nice deep breaths. And if you like a little more gentle practice, I teach live on the Gateway Arch Facebook page every Tuesday at 7 a.m. and that's in conjunction with the Gateway National Park Foundation and Yoga Buzz. So you can catch me there. Let's take one more breath. Come on back to center. And you can bring the knees into your belly, maybe rock side to side or draw some little circles for a few breaths. Take any final moves that you would like before that final rest. And friends, I'm always available for private, small group and corporate yoga or wellness as well. Just reach out to me. We can do it virtually or we can meet and be socially distanced. It's whatever you're comfortable with. So when we settle in today, before we fully settle in, you may want to turn off the video so that you can take as long as a rest or shavasana that you need. Maybe it's been a stressful week, stressful weekend, it's start of a new week on a Sunday. So I want you to take as long as you need here without interruptions if possible. So when you settle into that final pose, maybe you're seated or on your back or whatever's working for you today, I want you to take 3 deep rounds of breath. And I want you to just imagine with each exhale, you're letting go of tension, tightness, stress, the past, the future, so that you can just be present in this moment for a little space of time. That you can just focus on yourself and your breath and really let your mind and body rest and relax. One of my favorite little quotes, and it's just a quick little quote I like to say is, even after you roll up the mat, the yoga continues. So you continue to keep that yoga in your mind and in your heart as you go throughout your day, but it can be very stressful. So take this little bit of time to rest and reset. I hope to see you guys soon, virtually or in person. From my heart to yours, friends, peace, love, and good health. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday.